Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Meatless and this is Literally Graphic. And today we are talking TBR, not a usual topic for me. I was reviewing the number of Black created books I've read and why I think my books no pictures game is pretty good. I also felt like my Black created comics game is a little lacking. So I looked through my current TBR, googled around a bit, and looked through my library's catalog and set some intentions. Between the library system being pretty intermittent at present due to COVID-19 and my intentions always being larger than my ability to execute them, I'm not really putting any timeline on this, but I figure I'm probably not the only one trying to focus on this right now, so here we go. But before that, I wanted to continue to set a minute aside to recommend a Black YouTube creator. This person has not asked to be featured, so please don't hold it against them. But today's pick is a Bookish Realm, a Black booktuber I've been following for a while now. She's recently started a video series reviewing Comic Book Herald's picks for My Marvelous Year. Anyway, a good mix of classic booktube and comic book content that probably should have more subscribers than she does. The first book I definitely need to tackle is Aya of Yop City, sequel to Aya. I've been meaning to read this for a really long time now. My only excuse is that I could never remember the order when I saw the books at the library. That said, I might have already read this and just not reviewed it. But now is the time to correct that mistake. Check out my initial thoughts video for the series if you want more in-depth details. Originally published in French, there appears to be quite a few volumes that have yet to be translated. Next up, I could not fail to put a graphic novel adaptation of Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower, as not only is this the creation of one of my longtime favorite Black creators, it is also an apocalyptic story that feels closer every month or so. Bonus points for an interesting speculative take on religion. While I would recommend all of Butler's novels without hesitation, her most popular, Kindred, was also previously published as a graphic novel adaptation, and I just reposted my review of it, so check out that too. To dip out of the indie scene into the superhero realm of comics, I do actually own the first volume of Christopher Priest's run on Black Panther and the first 2 volumes of Reginald Hudlin's run. I've already started digging into those. It's certainly interesting to compare and contrast how different people treat any character, but particularly Black Panther. If you want to see my initial thoughts on Ta-Nehisi Coates' run, there's a link for that. The next title includes a short story nominated for the Eisner Comic Industry Awards. Hot Comb by Ebony Flowers is a poignant glimpse into Black women's lives and coming-of-age stories as seen across a crowded, ammonia-scented hair salon, while ladies gossip and bond over the burn. I'm really excited to pick this one up. Another title I own but had yet to pick up, mostly because pre-COVID-19 I was really bad about reading digital comics. I backed Black by Kwanzaa Oshiefo during its original run on Kickstarter, but hadn't read it, so I should. In a world that already hates and fears them, what if only Black people had superpowers? After miraculously surviving being gunned down by police, a young man learns that he is part of the biggest lie in history. Now he must decide whether it's safer to keep it a secret or if the truth will set him free. Having picked up the first Bintu book and rated it 4 out of 5 stars, I hadn't realized how many comics they had written besides Shuri, Volume 1, which I did read but never reviewed for some reason. There's 2 volumes now and 2 other Wakanda/Black Panther titles to check out now, but the library only has digital copies of Edge of the Venomverse. I've never read any Venom before, but it appears to be a speculative anthology, so I am intrigued and would really like to pick that one up pretty soon. A bit of a surprise find that I sadly won't get to too quickly is Crazy Enigmats by George Harriman, a classic newspaper comic that I'm sure I'm not alone in not realizing was created by a Black man. Apparently George Harriman was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, to mixed-race Creole parents. My library has 10 volumes, so that's a lot to dive into, but only physical copies, so on the back burner for the moment. Next up, we have another prolific superhero writer, David Walker, with an image title called Bitter Roots. In the 1920s, the Harlem Renaissance is in full swing, and only the Sangier family can save New York and the world from the supernatural forces threatening to destroy humanity. But the once great family of monster hunters has been torn apart by tragedies and conflicting moral codes. The Sangiers family must heal the wounds of the past and move beyond their differences, or sit back and watch a force of unimaginable evil ravage the human race. Sounds really fun, and I hope to be able to pick up the first volume online soon. Another very interesting looking comic is Excellence, co-created by Brandon Thomas and Carrie Randolph. Spencer Dales was born into a world of magic. His father belongs to the Aegis, a secret society of black magicians ordered by their unseen masters to better the lives of others of high potential but never themselves. And now it's time for Spencer to follow in his father's footsteps, but all he sees is a broken system in need of someone with a wand and the will to change it. But in this fight for a better future, who will stand beside him? And last, but certainly not least, we have Bingo Love by T. Franklin, Jen St. Ong, Hoi San, and Cardinal Ray. Very popular queer comic across a lot of YouTubers I follow. If you haven't already heard of it, definitely check it out on Goodreads. And I think that's going to be a wrap for now. Obviously, there's a lot more Black created comics to go and more videos to come. I hope that this has whetted some of your appetites, however, and I promise there will be reviews soon. Definitely keep an eye on my Black Comics playlist and leave a comment with your favorite Black created comic or movies. As I said in my last Black creator video to my non-Black peers, you cannot think of yourself as a good person if you do not reach beyond yourself to learn about, celebrate, and respect people who are Black. Bye y'all, keep reading and resist white supremacy. And as always, Literally Graphic is recorded on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and Anishinaabe people, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat Nation. I live here because of British colonization, indigenous genocide, and more geographically specific, Treaty 13, also known as the Toronto Purchase, which was finalized in 1805 between representatives of the Crown and certain Mississauga peoples. This treaty was a lie and has since been broken many times over. Saying so reflects only my own small steps towards knowing the truth and does nothing for reconciliation.